Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Robyn. We've got Robyn who is joining us in our group. Welcome, Robyn. It's so lovely to have you. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us on how we can be and how we must be the best version of ourselves. And I like to take that further in bringing our kids. We owe it to our kids to be the best version of ourselves. And this was a big reality check for me, Robyn, because I felt, and this was my perspective as I grew up, I saw my mom make sacrifices and put us first, and she'd be burnt out and she'd be anxious and she'd be upset because she was focusing so much of her energy on us. And we believe she did an amazing job with focusing on us and making us a priority. And while as I grew up and I had kids, of course, that's what we do. We model our parents. My mom did an excellent job. Look at me, how I turned out. Hey,
That's right, of course.
Little did I know, I didn't really turn out all that great. I realized that there was another piece to this puzzle, and that being putting myself first, which seemed like the worst thing you could do, is the most selfish thing, was actually the best thing you could do, not just for yourself, but more importantly for your kids and for your family. So that was a huge realization. That was one of the biggest turning points in my life to this day, which is why I'm so excited about this topic. And I'm so excited to hear you share on how you do that in your space with your work. I'd like you to start off by just sharing a little bit about you and how amazing you are and the amazing work you do. And don't hold anything back.
Oh my goodness.
Well, and how this topic comes to play. I know, that's why I'm giving you permission. You have permission to be the best version of yourself, and really share with us, because it's important for us to own that.
Yes.
And we do feel shy and we feel that we're putting ourselves up, and that's the wrong thing. And really, it is the best thing we can do, not just for ourselves, but for those around us. And I love to say this, when we allow ourselves to shine, we give permission to those around us to shine as well. So give us permission to shine and allow yourself to shine.
Okay, thank you, Yolanda. It's just so lovely to be here with you, and I watch your work, and you do beautiful work with parenting, and that's something that's very dear to my heart. So I'm a mum of 4 adult children. I have 5 little grandchildren. One was born on Saturday, which was very exciting. And so I've got 3 girls and 2 little boys. So this is the reward for being a parent. It's beautiful. It's a lovely season to be in. And, you know, family and parenting was a very high value of mine. So when I first had my first child, we decided to be very intentional about what we wanted for our family. And I think that really set us on a path. Like, what did we want? What values did we want to take that we'd grown up with? What did we like? What didn't we like? What would we like to do? What didn't we want to do? Because we are a product of our own upbringing. And, you know, unless we get very intentional, we can just repeat similar patterns. And so my heart was to raise really functional children. And I didn't do it perfect. And I'm sure they'll say, you know, we have discussions, we have laughs. And I say, oh, you better go and have your therapy now, you know. But we did start off with the end goal in mind. And that was to be able to raise really responsible, loving, caring adults that would be, you know, that journey through childhood. And so I'm really proud of my children. I've got one who lives, my eldest one lives in Berlin in Germany. So that's been a bit distressing the last couple of years. She hasn't been able to come home. And my other 3 are here on the Sunshine Coast. So I get to see them very often, which is really lovely because I'm an empty nester and I love to catch up with them, find out what they're doing in their world and of course be that hands-on grandnonna I am to those little children, because I believe my season in life now is to sow into the next generation, and I have permission to do that from my children, so it's really special. So
That's
my
beautiful.
background
Yeah.
has been in the hair and beauty industry. So, you know, I was very career driven. I didn't think about family. I didn't think about children. They just turned up. The first one was just on her way. And I'm like, oh my goodness, you know, career, mothering. So it took me a few years and 2 children to sort of get into the groove of realizing that motherhood has a very high value. And, you know, I gave up my business. I sold my business that I had. I let go of my career. And it really was a huge adjustment for me, and not easy, because all of a sudden I was like just a mum. And I remember turning, you know, I had no idea what to do. I had an older sister who had 4 children before my number one. I had to ring her on the first day and say, what do I dress this baby in? Because I'd worked right up to when I had her. So I wasn't mentally prepared or emotionally prepared for what this baby would do to me. I was so focused on my career. So it was a really huge undoing for me personally, and stepping out of a career that I'd loved and enjoyed and a business. And then it took me till after I had my second child to realize the value of what I had now, was to raise the next generation.
So
So
it sounds like you were living your best version of yourself in your career
absolutely.
until that point. And that transition then to then choosing, was it a choice that you had to make that, okay, or was there some of that weaning time when you
Well, it was
realize, okay, now this is my life? Yeah.
Well, we didn't plan our first baby. She just sort of arrived. Well, you know, like I found out I was pregnant when I was about 12 weeks. I'm like, oh, actually, I hadn't actually planned that. So how do we shuffle this? So it's really interesting, because then my husband, he started a business the week that I was in hospital. So I came home and he walked out the door to his new business. I still had my business, and we had this new baby. So it was like, whoa, how did this all happen without planning and preparation? So I was really underprepared.
Yeah. And life happens, doesn't it?
Oh, yes.
It
And like
happens.
everyone was
Yeah.
excited, but I'm like, okay, well, what do I do with the business? What do I do with the baby? He's gone, he's focused on his business. And it was just like this total upheaval. And he's this tiny little human being, so dependent on us. And
Yes.
it was the making of me, because it took my eyes off, you know, I'd had a very successful career, traveled the world, had a very successful business, and letting go of that was a huge thing. But it was time, and we recognized 2 businesses and a baby just wasn't going to happen.
That's 3 babies, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, your business is your baby.
Yeah.
Lovely. So let's look at how you made those choices to be your best version, and what did you do?
So I had been the best version in my business, and then I realised that I could be the best version of me in my new role as a mum. And I took that really serious then, and I read a lot, and I gleaned from families and mothers that I knew were raising their children really well. And I saw them in my church, and I liked that idea. I liked what they did with that. So I had mentors, and I used to go to them and ask them, what did you do about this? And what did you do? So they really empowered me as a mum to be the best version of me. So it was really reading, parenting books, family, and then someone said something to me one day that triggered off a bigger picture. And I think that was what made me realise that, okay, this is bigger than just the day-to-day. This is having a vision. And I started to visualize what I wanted to be as a mum. I started to visualize what I wanted my family to look like. And those images just walked through life with me. And then it was like, okay, every decision that we made and intention that we set had to align with the vision that we had for our family. So a few years, you know, when our youngest was 2, we realized we were way off track. Like, we'd had this engineering business for 7 years. So I had the 4 children in 7 years. And my husband was just off the radar. So I was mum and dad. And I'm like, this didn't fit into what we were going to do. So we had to readdress that. And we sold that business. And we had to regroup as a family. So we bundled them all up and we went travelling around Australia. And so that was a huge sacrifice for me, because I had no comforts, no home comforts, no family support. But I knew for the vision.
So was that part of the vision, Robyn? To travel
mine.
around Australia with 4 kids?
Not mine. It was my husband's. And it was a really interesting how it came about, because my dad talked about that and he never did it. Then my husband started talking about it, and I said, don't talk about it
just wanted to,
unless you
let's just
take
do
the
it.
decision to do it. So circumstances, you know, gave us the opportunity to make that decision. So we sold the business and off we went. And that was a really critical time for our children and us to really grow this little unit very intentionally, reading to them, showing them new things, teaching them values, teaching them, you know, things that we were with them 24/7. So that gave us an advantage as well. And, you know, it was like, what's the plan? How do we do this? Like, how do we address that learning issue? So for me, the reading moved into personality types, learning styles, because we were homeschooling. So that was another set of challenges. And, you know, just still moving towards where we wanted to be as a family down the track. And
so what I'm hearing you say, that as you made this decision, it was about increasing your knowledge. So you read books, you surrounded yourself with knowledge, because we're always only ever doing our best given the knowledge we have. So that's a great first step. Increase your knowledge, because you're only ever doing your best based on the knowledge you have. So it means, you know, jumping on to seminars and webinars and books and because there's so much today than we did when we were raising our kids, isn't it? Parents today have access to so much, and sometimes too much.
I think so now.
Which can be, that might be a problem for them than
can be
what we had then. The other thing I heard you say was surround yourself with people who have the results you're seeking.
Yes. And I think
which is what you did with the people
is very important.
Yeah. Get a mentor. Absolutely. Don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to go through the ups and downs.
No.
Latch on to someone who's already been there, done that, and is willing and has a service available to support you. And the third thing I heard you say is have a vision. Have a vision that you want to create. That is so important. So for the parents who are watching, parents who will be watching down the track, do put a replay. Tell us what you're hearing about this. Tell us, what are you doing to increase your knowledge? Tell us who are the people that you are surrounding yourself with, or unconsciously we can surround ourselves with people who are in similar rut, because familiarity, and that is not the ideal thing for us to do. See, if you are looking to build that family where kids support the home, where you where everyone feels like they are a winner, and that's the families we're creating with empowered parenting, where kids feel like they're winning and parents feel like they're winning. It's like in any business decision we'd go into, you need to know that you are winning as much as the other party is. And we want to create that in our families, because that is what brings and gets kids to jump on board and feel like a part of something, because that's what they're seeking. They're seeking to be a part of something. And this is a big thing. A family that's functioning requires a lot of work and a lot of joint ambitions, and creating that vision together does give us that drive. I know it does for my girls. We run our home like a ship together. We support each other. We have dreams. We each have our vision boards, and we are jointly supporting each other's dreams. And what other place to create it than within your own family? So share with us, what is your vision for your family? What does it look like? What are you creating? Or are you surrounding yourself with people who are with similar challenges? And that's fine. However, make sure you are focused on those who have it, who are doing it, because the way they are being gives you clues on how you need to be. And get yourself a mentor. Straight after this live, I am jumping on our Empowered Parenting workshop. We've got a workshop starting in the next half hour. Jump on there. That's where you're increasing your knowledge. Lovely. So any last 3 tips you want to leave to parents before we end this live, Robyn?
As a mum, I think always be teachable. So don't be afraid to go and ask questions, because I've spent my life asking and inquiring questions to other mothers, and that takes humility. But I don't want to mess it up and have to go back and try and fix up too much damage. And your own personal growth is really important. So mums sacrifice a lot, but taking time out and looking after you, personally growing, and I've always done personal growth development courses. And my daughter, I've done another course in the last 12 months. She goes, Mum, I love the way that you just reinvent yourself. And I think that's great. Be an inspiration to your children. And, I'm at that stage now where they're adults, they're looking at me and they're inspired by me reinventing myself and doing new things and learning new things. And you can do that while your children are little, at whatever stage. Just let them see you learning, let them see you taking time out, let them see you, investing in yourself personally, because that will make you a better mum. And, it's great if dad can do that as well, because, we learned about not having child-focused parenting. This is about mum and dad, and then the children are there as well, but it's not all about them. It's good for them to see that mum's valuable and important, and so is dad. So, and if you don't have mum and dad, then look for the mentors, look for the role models that can sow into your family and be the gap fillers. So we had filling grandparents when we moved to Queensland. We left both our families behind, but we adopted new grandparents. And so they were very important in the role of our family. So on Grandparents' Day, our children had some people to ask and invite along. So, you can adopt others in to support you as a parent.
You can choose family. Yeah, that's you can choose people that influence you. And often, you hear parents who don't have that influence that they would like. Yes. You can. So thank you for sharing that. Absolutely right. Yeah, brilliant. So tell us a little bit about your group and your business. So where can people find you, and what is the work you do?
So the work that I'm doing currently is helping women to find their voice in amongst the busyness and craziness of life. And having a voice might just mean that you want to be a bit more expressive about your vision and your intention and your goal setting. So my Facebook group is Women Igniting Passion, and I'm running small workshops for women to find their voice and to find their vision and all of that, because, I left the workforce, I gave up a career, and it was a huge adjustment. But some mums are juggling both. So, it's full on and all consuming. but to find your voice within your role as a mum or even in the workplace is really important too. So then you can actually put the words and the clarity around the vision that you have. And, you know, we work on confidence and courage and clarity around your voice. So, you know, many women get shut
That
down.
sounds amazing.
And,
Yeah,
you know, we
yeah.
just want to empower.
So you've got an event. Do you have
I
an
have
event
got an
coming
event.
up
I've
that
got
parents can jump
workshop
on?
coming up. It's an introductory workshop on the 2nd of November.
Lovely.
Online.
Beautiful.
So I'll post that in for you.
Can you put that in the comments, Robyn? So
yeah,
that will be lovely. So if there's,
that way,
you know, if you've loved what you've heard of what Robyn has shared and the stage of life she is and how she supports parents, then please do join Robyn's group. It's going to be in the comment section, and jump onto her. She's giving us free tickets. Is there free tickets for our members, Robyn?
Yes. Yeah.
Yay! So we've got free tickets as well, guys. So
you can go in and join.
Because as we increase our knowledge, we give ourselves access to be that next best version of ourselves. Beautiful. And so for the parents watching, we are in the next, it's actually at I'm in the UK, so it's 9:30 a.m. here, which is in Australia, it's in Melbourne, it's 7:30 a.m. 7:30 p.m. Melbourne time, and it's 6:30 p.m. Brisbane time. So I look forward to having you join us. We'll put the link to coming along to our workshop in the link as well. So increase your knowledge, surround yourself with people who are living and experiencing that the vision that you have to create for your family. So with that, thank you so much, Robyn, for joining us, and we look forward to having you again.
Oh, it's been lovely to be here with you, Alanda. Thanks so much for the opportunity, and all the best while you're over there in London.
Thank you.
Lovely to see you.
Lovely.
Bye-bye.
Bye.